Goodbye, Elijah. Chapter 2. George and Elijah went for a night walk. The stars looked wonderful upon the city scene. A very pretty pink Niggi woman was leaning on a light post just outside the corner store. She is blonde. Her hair is golden when light casts a bright shine. Her eyes are ocean blue. Her smile is so lovely, it makes you want to fly into heaven's paradise. "Hey there, young Niggi fellas. You guys lookin' sharp," she complimented. Her voice sounded western, but her appearance of dress was more city-like. "You're pretty," Elijah complimented. "Well, thank you. I like your eyes," she told Elijah. "My name is Gabby. I live up on the curve by Mr. Clean Washers." She took her hair and put it into pigtails. Her cuteness made Elijah smile. George noticed a very familiar face upon the female Niggi. His heart started to pump faster. He noticed a face, just with different hair. "Do I know you, honey?" George asked her. She lifted a pigtail and flicked it and smacked her lips. "Yes, I know you. You're George, and I want you back, honey," Gab told him. George smiled and looked back at Elijah, and Elijah smiled back at George. "I love you, George," Gabby told him, while grabbing his collar and brushing her face against his. "How sweet," Elijah said, with a large grin. She gave George a kiss on his cheek and hugged him. "I need you back," George told her. She grabbed his arm and brought him to the staircase. "Where are you guys going?" Elijah asked, with a large, bulky shadow appeared behind him. "Hey, tall one," a voice called. Elijah turned around to see what the voice came from. Curly was standing there. "Have you seen a pink Niggi female with blonde hair and pigtails?" Curly asked, while picking his teeth. "You look familiar," Elijah said. "My name is Curly." "I seen you on TV before," Elijah told him. "Can you tell me where the pink female Niggi is with pigtails?" Curly asked while getting annoyed. "I seen you go with George," Elijah answered. Curly's eyes grew angered. His brows formed a angered emotion. "Son of a bitch!" Curly shouted. "What's the matter?" Elijah asked, taking a step back. "Kid, don't worry about it. You're not a part of this," Curly said. "Part of what? I'm not a part of what?" Elijah asked, turning his head a little. "Did George ever tell you about me?" Curly asked, cracking his knuckles. "I can't remember," Elijah said. "He probably did. I never told you I was a Niggi man that made Gabby pregnant and moved to Chicago with," Curly explained. Elijah started to pick a hint of remembrance when he heard Curly's words. "You're her boyfriend?" Elijah asked. "Yes, I am. Don't think I'm mad at George, because I'm not," Curly explained. "I'm not going to do anything. You can trust me," Elijah said. George and Gabby came back and noticed Curly talking to Elijah. A very weird feeling came upon the air. "Hey, Curly," George greeted, putting his arms out wide. "Hey, my man, I don't hate you, and I'm sorry if I ever hurt you," Curly apologized. "It's all right. I never meant to be a pest," George said. "My Niggi father I never met somehow. I became in the image of him, and his love for me," Curly stated. "I became a monster and was being awfully mean to you. But I want to be your friend, George. I want to be your friend." George's smile grew larger. His heart felt warm. "Give me a big hug," George requested, with his arms wide open. Curly hugged George. They were never enemies, but they just needed a moment to recover. "You deserve Gabby, and you're going to be her man," George told him. "George, you're a gem. Never forget that," Curly told him. Elijah smiled and started to get all jumpy. "You got Elijah. He's an angel, and he's lucky to have you. Take care of him," Curly explained. "Thanks. Yes, he is a lovely one, and I will never let him down," George said. "Me and Gabby have to head home now. I have to get up early for my boxing match tomorrow," Curly went on. "See you, George and Elijah," Gabby said, waving goodbye. "Have a nice night," George greeted. "Sleepy nighty, good night," Elijah told them while holding his hat in front of his lower belly.